This video is supported by Profit Accumulator. Profit Accumulator helps you to earn extra money by doing something called match betting. Match betting isn't gambling. And when you do it properly, and I mean properly, you can't lose. So get involved right now. Click the link in the description and sign up to Profit Accumulator right now.
Hi and welcome to the Stats Review Show. We're going to be reviewing the game against Leeds that happened last weekend. There's plenty to get through. Obviously, it was a 0-0 draw, red card from Nicolas Pepe. There was handballs. There was many incidents. I've obviously got my friend and co-host with me, James B. So, you all right, James? Everything good?
Yeah, I was just slightly adjusting the the camera there, but yeah, all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm just gonna reel off some things I observed throughout the game myself, and then some things I looked at, some stats I looked at after, well, during mid game and just straight away after. So these are like the hot, straight away off the bat stats that we got after the game. So I'm going to read them, and then we'll go into the ones obviously that we've been sent from Opta. Thank you, and we've broken down. So firstly, obviously, if you guys watched, we didn't have much going forward. We had our first shot on target by Aubameyang at the 60th minute. Again, that just highlights how poor we are going forward. It's taken too long for us.
That is so concerning, isn't it? Like,
massively.
We know we've become accustomed to like just throwing out quite a few like sort of statements and stats recently, which is like we have no creativity. Aubameyang had his first shot in the whatever minute. We've lost 4 games this season, and like because it's reality, you kind of have to just accept it and like just take it in kind of thing. But when you actually like listen to these things, and that one you just brought up, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. When you really break it down, like I've known Arsenal through some bad times, and this is. I'm not saying this is as bad as it's ever got, but in terms of our attacking football, it is pretty diabolical. Yeah,
it's not great at all. At all. It's something that's alarming. It's something we need to address. I don't even think buying someone in the window this January is going to fix the problems of us shooting more. Which is working on going forward. I think Arteta's that's to be his next project really, because obviously we've got the defence sorted. It's time to work on it going forward, but there's going to be a lot of problems with that due to obviously injuries, players playing many minutes, and obviously the red card from Nicolas Pepe. So I want to move on again straight onto that. Nicolas Pepe, first time getting a red card. So we can't really say is it out of character him getting a red card. I feel like we know our thoughts. I think it's awful. I don't think he should ever lean your head forward or go for a headbutt. It was unprofessional.
I think it is out of character.
It's uncharacteristic from him.
I don't think that's what he. Yeah, I think that was just a bad moment for him, which is why I hope he doesn't feel the wrath of Arteta too much. It looks like he will do.
I think he will. And with the title of the show, there's discipline problem. This kind of alludes to it. Like, it's out of character. Why is he doing that at our club, at any club? Then on top of that, there's loads of things within the club that we're questioning. Like Willian flying to Dubai. We don't know why he done that. Again, Nicolas Pepe lashing out, the fight during the week in training between Luiz and Ceballos. There's a lot.
What did Guendouzi do that was so bad that got him completely cold from the team? As well. Like, look, like
there's so many things.
I don't know anything, so I'm not saying there is a discipline problem in the club, but there's way too much evidence of there being one for my liking. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's like, and I argue with the Arteta outers who a lot of them are saying like I don't like a lot of this stuff that's happening, how it's being brushed under, how certain players are getting away with certain things. I hear all that, but I always say unless we know the details and we know what's going on internally, I don't really think we should comment too much. The problem is, me and you've just listed 5 or 6 examples that we don't really know the ins and outs of. But you're thinking, well, they can't all have great explanations. Do you know what I mean? Like, it does sound as something not right.
Yeah, and I feel like obviously as a club, they can keep things private. I understand that. We're not going to know everything as a fan. However, we expect it to be dealt with properly by our management, and it just seems like a lot of these things aren't really being handled correctly so far, or he doesn't seem like he has a lid on it either from his responses. So I don't know. That's that. There's one more thing I want to just bring up. One more stat that I checked straight after the game, which is since Mikel Arteta joined Arsenal in December 2019, the Gunners have received 5 Premier League red cards. That's at least 2 more than any other club in this time. So, I mean, again, it's that falls under the whole title of the show. That is there a discipline problem? Does it need to be lid be put on it early doors? I think that's something we need to look at.
Also, discipline problem doesn't mean that you're necessarily a bad person who causes problems within the camp, or that you disobey, or that it's an attitude thing. Discipline is also maturity on a football pitch. And David Luiz, who I've championed all year, like I've been saying for a long time, he's better than people give him credit for. You know, he has been on the wrong end of some appalling fouls in the box or appalling red card decisions.
Yeah.
Decisions that, you know, he gave away because he was reckless and ill-disciplined. Now, in fairness, this season he's shown tremendous discipline. But this is what I'm talking about. So when we say discipline, we're not just saying, you know, players getting in punch-ups on the pitch in training. We're not saying that. We're not talking about what Pepe did. I'm talking about having a level head and having maturity and having, what's the word? Calmness. Is that a word? Is calmness a word?
Calmness,
being calm in mentally challenging situations.
Or tranquil.
And, or like training. And you know what? Evidence of the FA Cup run suggests that these players do have it in them at times. But there's way too much evidence that they don't.
Yeah, agreed. Very much agreed. Last one as well. I'm going to put this up. There's one more. So I know I said last one before, but there's one that I have to talk about. But I'll bring this up while I talk about it. So these are the stats straight after the game that we got sent. This is it. Take a look at that, guys. Take it all in. Obviously, 25 shots to Leeds over our 9. Obviously 4 only on target from Leeds. We've got 2. Possession. Now, the reason why I'm bringing this up, 66 over 33. The reason why I'm bringing this up is because obviously we do these stats reviews. We really look into them, myself and James. But since the red card for Nicolas Pepe, it kind of does make the stats a bit obsolete, and the things that we research independently that we want to speak about, it kind of makes it difficult due to the red card. It kind of throws the game, the pendulum of the game and the stats. So I just want to make that very clear. With that, Go on, James.
Sorry to. I wanted to because I was really keen to jump on that thing you just said there. Like, you know, with these shows, we like to we'll like to just do a little bit of analysis as well as just reading stats. Reading stats can get really boring. The thing is, I do sit there and I think, how do I analyze a game in which we were down to 10 men for a lot of it, for pretty much the whole second half? And you know, you're looking at things like passing stats, passing combinations. I'm sitting there thinking, but like, of course they're not very good. Because there was a man less. Yeah. And the thing is, the first half wasn't very good either, even with 11 men. So we're not making excuses for the team. We're just saying you can't really make a fair assessment or a fair analysis on the game. The main analysis is Leeds were better than us in the first half. You can look into that. But the minute Pepe went off, there was absolutely no chance at all of us even finding form. Because, you know, when you still got 11 men on the pitch and it's 0-0 and you've rode your luck a bit, you can sit there and think, all right, but maybe we might wake up. Maybe something will click for us. Maybe we'll get going. And, you know, there's still that chance. And you went down to 10. I thought there's no chance. There's no chance we'll get going.
Yeah, I just had a lot of fans come at me after the game. Or, well, they didn't come at me. We had a discussion. I have a lot of fans that I'm friends with, obviously. And they were saying that, well, you got boxed by Leeds. Or like, and we got boxed. Like you just said there, we went down to 10 men. It's not a fair assessment of the game. Obviously, in the first half, there's an argument to say that it was quite neck and neck, but I don't know. I'm just saying, making it very clear that it's difficult to give a full assessment of our performance when it went down to 10 men. If anything, we did have a bit of bite. We went down to 10 men because that's when our shots on target came and our chances came. And on that note, Saka. Just want to quickly jump into this one. He did the 2 key passes higher than any other player in the Arsenal team, even though he only came on late in the game, and he had him and Aubameyang are the only ones that had shots on target. So it just goes to show, unfortunately, he's currently injured from that game as well. We don't know much about that, but we will get an update and we will update you guys as soon as we know. But it just goes to show, Saka, I said it, he's the most mature player that we have, and we're relying on one of the youngest players on our team to bring us a victory is just a joke right now. But that's that. Yeah. I'm not here to debate. I'm just going to go straight into the actual stats that we got here for the show. Otherwise, it's going to be a completely different show. So first one coming up. Here we go. We've got
So we went through this. We don't need to touch on it too much, but yeah, let's just really actually appreciate that for a sec. Leeds had 25 shots to Arsenal's 9. It's mad. Again, I know we were down to 10 men, but by the way, that made little difference because I think they had 12 in the first half and 13 in the second.
Yeah,
appalling stat.
And we was on like in the first half. Yeah, first half I think it was like 4.
Next, just get on. It's just so depressing.
Get through this.
So this I thought was interesting.
Go on, James.
I'd read it out. Yeah, go
on. Sorry, yeah. Leeds attempted 610 passes to Arsenal's 310. In the first half, Leeds still managed 100 more exchanges, 294 to 196. Talk to us, James.
Sorry, you can't see me. I'm shaking my head. I'm just like, wow.
Yeah.
100 passes less. I understand going to a place like Leeds and you exchange a bit of possession, you have a bit, they have a bit, you have your moments in the game, you're kind of back and forth, neck and neck, but now we're just outplayed again. The first 20 minutes was vaguely encouraging. The formation looked fresh. We looked like a better in a team. We were getting forward, which was encouraging. But we did nothing with it. Leeds settled and then outplayed us from 22, 23 minutes onwards. So, again, I mean...
I know. I think it relates back to the fans always saying, like, we're playing boring football, which we are. We're not having
We've gone numb to it because because a lot of people see that stat and go, yeah, well, is that surprising? Well, no, in the sense that Bielsa's a manager who in the last year or two has shown he wants to play really progressive, attacking, fluid football. And then you've got Arteta, who's shown that in the last year he's wanted to work on the defence and making us more solid. So actually what you got is a 0-0 with Leeds peppering our goal. That actually is pretty much what we should have expected. I actually thought we might nick it 1-0. But just stop and think for a second. Newly promoted Leeds, out shooting and out passing Arsenal. Like, where have we gone? How's it got to this?
Where have we gone and where are we going?
Another one. Don't need to touch on it too much, but again, 66% possession to Arsenal's 34.
Yeah, it's void. That one's void. I'm sorry.
Move on.
Because in the first half of that 20 minutes, you said we was 83% possession up. So I don't want to. That's void. Next one.
So I thought this was interesting. Kieran Tierney won possession more times than any other Arsenal player. Now, a little later, I'm going to come back to this stat because there's a very interesting table I want to point out. But just keep that in mind. Yeah, Tierney won the ball or got possession back for the club more than any other player in the team. At left back, I guess that's not that surprising, but it was by quite a distance more than other players. Just hold out your thoughts, guys, because I'll show later.
Interesting. I feel like I think fans agree. I speak to him a lot. The passion from him is second to none as well. Like he will fight for the badge. I'm not saying other players won't, but it was clearly proven after the match him wanting to confront the player who died down on the floor. So it's just I get that. Also,
He's
I think
future Arsenal captain
as well. Yeah, definitely future Arsenal captain, 100%. That's unquestionable. It'll be him. And if Partey's still around, I think it'll be him and Partey fighting for that spot. But yeah, let's move on to this one.
Right, shall I read it out? Yeah, Danny Ceballos made 4 tackles against Leeds. Right, it's an all right number. The most of any Arsenal player. The second highest was 1 tackle by Gabriel, Tierney, Pepe, Willian, Willock and Saka.
Yeah.
How did Ceballos make 4 and no one else made more than 1?
I said when he said Tierney one possession more than any other player, I was quite surprised because I thought it was Ceballos, but then I guess tackles and winning possession kind of the same, but I guess he was Ceballos.
A tackle is a way of winning back possession. But in the tackling department, getting stuck in, trying to win the ball back off someone who has it in possession, Ceballos was by a country the best, and no one else seemed close. I sort of forgive centre backs because actually in the modern game they do more intercepting than they do tackling, but no one else was anywhere near that, and that's disappointing.
Yeah, agreed. I just feel like after I was screaming, you heard me. You was with me yesterday on the watch along. I was talking about Ceballos. Yeah, his work off
He's
the
doing
ball.
everything.
Yeah. He was running the midfield, trying to break up play. He was up for it yesterday, and
He was.
on Sunday.
He looked after the ball well as well. He was skillful. He was brilliant. He Ceballos, Gabriel, Leno, the only good things that come out of yesterday's match.
Yeah. Facts.
Sorry to be
Okay.
so harsh.
Talking about Leno.
So speaking of Leno, people are probably gonna look at this and think, why you're trying to bash Leno? What's the point in this? Now, he lost possession 23 times, way more than any other player. Now, I'm not criticising Leno here. And again, you've got to throw in the whole, we had 10 men for a lot of the game. But, one of the best things Arteta has done since arriving is teach us how to play out the back. We've been really good at keeping possession in tight areas and moving the ball around nicely. We've been one of the best in the league at it, I'd say. Despite everything, we've been one of the absolute best. So why is Leno losing possession 23 times? I wish I could see. I didn't have this stat. I wish I could see how many of those came in the second half.
Okay, I haven't got that. I've got someone to counteract that.
Go on.
Total passes. The highest amount of total passes in Arsenal's team yesterday. Bernd Leno with 40.
Right.
Highest amount of passes in the opposition half. Bernd Leno 25. Now, thank you very much. My reaction exactly. So, James, straight after this, you're going to go to, I'm going to show you the document that tells us that, and we're going to sit down and have a little conversation. How awful is that? The highest amount of passes in the opposition half came from our goalkeeper. That is a joke.
So basically, our most creative player in the final, in the opposition half, is normally David Luiz. But after his whatever reason he had for not playing, we decided to pass on the mantle and that great responsibility to none other than our goalkeeper. That's why he lost possession so much. But this is why I asked it, because I was wondering, this is weird. Why? But then why are we going long so much? Was it just down to 10 men?
Do you know what? No. I would say the answer for that as well. Knowing a manager I've never been a manager, but knowing how a manager would think. Obviously, Leeds press intensely. One of probably the highest high pressure teams, highest high pressure teams in the league. He probably just said, you know what? Instead of risking playing at the back, especially when we went down to 10, just get rid of it. But
we said in our preview show that. I appreciate he's not watching our preview show and going, "Oh, good tips from James and Cecil. I'm going to do that." but we spoke about this and we said, but that would be flawed because a team that presses well, which they do, and have the second highest turnovers in the league, or they did for the weekend, going long's not going to work because they know how to win that ball back very well. So actually, the best weapon we had was everything Arteta's been coaching for the last year, which is our playing out the back. So anyway, it seems a madness to me, but. Hey ho.
Next one. Let's get into it.
Yeah, Arsenal played almost 8 hours of football without a goal from open play. This is a disgusting stat.
It's pressing.
I've actually stared at a screen for 8 hours of Premier League football without seeing my club put the ball in a net that wasn't from a spot.
Yeah.
And by the way, we only get like one penalty a year. So if you're Man United, that might be all right. You get so many. And that's not a dig. They got players who know how to win penalties. We don't. So can't even rely on that.
They got VAR on their side as well. I don't know how. Somehow they got look up.
Yeah. We need to subscribe to that subscription somehow.
Yeah, we got fun.
Mate, I again.
Yeah, so that's
I'm really sorry. I'm really sorry to anyone who's coming on here hoping for some analysis, but you do the fan cam, you do the show in the morning, you listen to everyone else, everything else has been saying. I don't know what more to add. We have serious creativity problems. We can't attack. We don't have the personnel. I do agree with that. I feel sorry for Arteta. We don't have the right players for it. But at the same time, there's got to be more than this. This is a coaching issue as well. Klopp doesn't play with number 10s. He plays with fullbacks who can deliver a ball, and he plays with 3 very technical front 3 players. Aubameyang is many brilliant, wonderful things, but he's not a technical player. He's not. He's a good finisher. He's very instinctive, and he's very fast. But he's not going to beat the man and shimmy the ball between like his feet and wriggle past 2 men. He doesn't do that. Lacazette has a bit more about him, but he doesn't have the pace and the drive to do that either. Pepe, you could, but he's out for 3 games now, so don't count on that.
Yeah.
You know, this is what I'm saying. So it's a systematic flaw as well. Look at what Nelson and Saka did in the final third when they came on. They looked brighter.
Yeah, they did.
Looked after the ball better. They were more intelligent with it because they're players who are very capable of doing that. So look, sorry to not bring any insight. I'll bring some rant because that's all I can say on that.
Yeah, so listen, let's go into this last stat before we bring up the Kieran Tierney thing that I know you wanted to touch on.
Yeah.
Let's bring up the last stat here. So, yeah, since Arteta joined Arsenal, since Arteta joined Arsenal in December 2019, the Gunners have received 5 Premier League red cards, at least 2 more than So I did speak about this at the beginning. I just find that just again alludes to the title. Is there problems? Do they need to be sorted? Let us know in the comments. I'll be reading through them. Actually, I'll be intrigued to hear you guys' thoughts on that. Do you think we have a discipline problem? And does it need to be sorted? Does it need to be addressed? I'm very intrigued to know. I'm exhausted at the stats that we've had to go through just today, and the thing is, we have to keep going through them all week until we play Molde Thursday, and then, well, actually, if anything, just playing Wolves Sunday will probably be the next time I can change from the tune of Leeds versus Arsenal. I'm just, like you said, there is serious problems. Just letting you guys know that need to be addressed and fixed. I still trust in Arteta, but you know what? There's plenty of things that need to be done, like James said previously in his rant. So I'm going to quickly pass on to James, as I'm sure he wants to let you guys know about this stat here.
So people probably want to what we were looking at here. So possession gained for both Arsenal and Leeds players. So Barnes was up there with 8, Tierney our best with 10, Phillips and Cooper on 10 as well, Phillips on 12. Why am I pointing this out? For a team that got completely and utterly dominated, which we did, for a team that had 10 men and sat back and defended, which we did, maybe there's actually a scientific reason behind this. Maybe there's something in the flow of attacking football that makes this happen a certain way. But how do we only have 2 players in the top 6 for possession gained when we were on the back foot the whole time? And I think it just shows you how good Leeds were in terms of their press, their desire to win the ball back, their desire to suffocate us and put us under pressure. Phillips, a big part of that. I know when you've only got 10 men, it's very hard to keep the ball. So a lot of the time we were probably just lumping it forward and Cooper would just sweep up. So I get all these things. I really do. I just thought this was worth showing you guys anyway. I'm staggered that our players were defending for their lives at times, but weren't winning the ball back. And it just shows you, if you get dominated that much in terms of shots and possession and passes, and you're not winning back possession at all, then you're going to suffer what we did, which is them hitting the post 3 times, them hitting the crossbar. That's going to happen. And so to answer a question that we did in our live this morning, were we lucky? Absolutely, we were lucky because we didn't even get the fundamentals of the defensive game right. We didn't win the ball back. We didn't recover well. We didn't tackle. We didn't do any of that stuff. We got out possession gained, out passed, outshot, out everything. And it was a pretty, I don't want to say disgraceful performance. I feel sorry for the players in what they had to sort of go through the last 40 minutes of the game. But it was another really dark chapter in this process that we're trusting in. And we've had some great chapters, and I am still so confident that Arteta will get it right and it'll get better. But this was a bad day, and the stats prove it. And I'm sorry for anyone who's coming to be cheered up. We've not done that. I'm really sorry. I don't know what you want to say about that, Cess, but it was bad, and we've got to say it how it is. It was bad. There's not really much else I can really say. The Aston Villa game and this game have been quite, like you said, dark chapters in the saga of the process that we're all trusting in. But hopefully, there's brighter days ahead. I've said it before in the live show. I said, listen, I expect 7 points out of the 3 games between
us, Leeds, Wolves, and Spurs. Now I'm being very optimistical. Yeah, optimistic. In a sense that optimistic in a sense that we got 1 point against Leeds, which means we need 2 wins in the next 2 games. But listen, Arsenal are the club that puts my blood pressure on a roller coaster, and I'm sure everyone else is. So you never know. We may get the 2 wins. We've got to stay tuned, stay positive as well, and trust in Arteta. There's still more to come. We'll be breaking it down every day where we can and giving you all the content we can on Arsenal and what's going on. So yeah, fingers crossed. There's light at the end of this tunnel. We didn't lose, so positive, I guess. So
yeah, let's end on 2 positives. We didn't lose, and Arteta played the formation and the players we wanted, which suggests that he is very much looking to address this. So I'll end on those 2.
Yeah, James gonna end on those 2. I'm gonna add 1 because 3 is a magic number, lucky number. This Friday, we're doing a quiz on Instagram with AFTV, and you can win some prizes. I'll be hosted. Make sure you're there. Cool. Thank you for watching today's AFTV stats review show on Arsenal versus Leeds. We'll see you soon.
This video is supported by Profit Accumulator. Profit Accumulator helps you to earn extra money by doing something called match betting. Match betting isn't gambling. And when you do it properly, and I mean properly, you can't lose. Now you always see these promotions by bookmakers like Ladbrokes, William Hill's, Corals, offering a £50 bonus to customers. So you sign up and you might place a £50 bet on a coin toss landing on heads and a £50 bet on the same coin toss landing on tails. Now whichever way it lands, it don't matter because you won't win or lose any money because you've covered all of the outcomes. However, you get the £50 bonus, so you're still £50 up. Now, lots of people try to do match betting on their own, but it's very time consuming and not always easy if you don't know what you're doing. That's where Profit Accumulator come in. Even if you don't know anything about sports, they walk you through everything step by step, showing you how to accumulate money into your bank account. So get involved right now. Click the link in the description and sign up to Profit Accumulator right now.